Allowing our muscles to relax. Breath is starting to flow. It's such a nice gift to be able to have this special time for the body to just be present, to relax all those muscles of the back that are holding us up most of the time. They're not needing to work hardly at all right now. It's nice to start and end classes from this nice peaceful place. So as we're here, we'll start to build up the image that we're going to play with through our class. And this is the image of mandalas. Mandalas are those beautiful circular geometric shapes. They're designs that we look at. They can be extremely meditative to look at. There's certain types of meditation where you just sit and look at a mandala because the beauty of the design helps our monkey mind to have something beautiful and intricate to focus on. So what we're imagining as we're traveling through our class today is that we're planting some sort of a seed at the center of a mandala, at the center of that symmetrical circle. And the seed is a pattern that's going to start to radiate outward and fill those intricate designs of the mandala. And so we're going to do all sorts of different things, different types of mandalas, different types of circles to start to plug in and activate into our mandala, helping it to come alive. But as we're getting started here, pick a seed. Pick something you'd like to plant right there in the center of the mandala for it to start radiating outward in all directions. So this could be a habit, it could be a change in lifestyle, it could be something, a goal that you're really working toward right now. It could be so many different things, but pick what your seed is right now that you're wanting to grow in your life. It could even be a concept like health or finishing a project that's been taking up a lot of time. It could mean lots of things, but we're picking that seed, and our practice today is like giving it that energy so that it can start to, expand outward into that beautiful shape. And so that's the idea that will be on the back of our mind as we're traveling through our class today. So with that idea to get it started, let's take the knees into the chest in nice little circles. The low back gets that nice massage, sacrum gets a massage. This is our first kind of circle, just so gentle on that low back, helping it to get the massage it needs to feel really good. And then from here, the first mandala we're going to take is a nice gentle one that gets into some of the deeper muscles of the hips and the spine. So what we do to start off with, just drop this left foot to the ground, right leg gets to stretch up to the sky, hold on to it and give it a little tug. You'll notice that some days, some mornings rather, the hamstrings are so not ready to move immediately, so no need to force anything too quick right here. Be patient. Kind of helping that hamstring get some time. Right leg gets to open, clear out to the right. And then the straight leg lifts up to the sky. Have your left hand on the side of the leg, helping to support the leg into the IT band. So that's a straight leg tilting to the left at about a 45-degree angle. One more inhale. And then exhale, release this right knee to cross tightly over the left knee. Bring both thighs into the chest. Each foot flings off to a side. So the hand grabs onto the ankle that's on that side. Gently pull in, getting deeper and deeper into those hip connections. A nice inhale. Exhale, release the bottom leg all the way long to the ground. We clasp around this right knee, pulling it in for a moment. And then send the right knee into a nice twist. All the way over to that left side. Hips get to relax down to the ground, and then shoot this right leg long to the earth. So now to do the mandala, we do the opposite side in the other direction. So we start off with the left knee coming in and just heading directly into the twist. Feel the muscles of the back opening. It's like these first movements are the pulsations of the seed that we're hoping to grow today. It's those pulsations of the seed before the shell's cracked. And so feel the breath flow, feel these nice twisting and expanding motions taking over. Beautiful. From here, the hips are turned back to the ground. Clasp the hands around this knee, pulling it directly in. And then slide this right foot into plant. Left knee crosses tightly over. Thighs come in, we grab onto the ankles. Just enjoy getting into the hips. It's like we're trying to crack that part of our shell. Opening right up. And from here, release the right foot to the ground. Left leg goes straight and it crosses over halfway to the right side first, IT band. And then leg opens up wide. Left hand is helping to weigh it down. And leg upward, grab onto it, give it that nice hamstring movement. gentle release. So now the direction the next part of class will take is getting us warmed up really rapidly so that we can head into some really beautiful, intricate mandalas, exploring it in our bodies. And don't worry if parts of it get hard, parts of this class will be advanced. So you don't have to do the things that are beyond what you can do, no pressure. But we're gonna get ourselves warmed up for that stuff. And don't worry, we'll also have lots of time at the end for cooling down. So here, what I'd like us to try, and not everybody's able to do this, so don't feel any pressure. What we try to do is roll back and then immediately plant the feet and come up to stand. So again, not everybody's able to do it, so if you can't, just keep on trying maybe 2 or 3 times. And then, good, beautiful. So let's head one more time if you're able to do this back. And then up, and just take a nice forward fold for a little while. Legs get to stretch. And let's even take a little twist. Left hand stays down. Right hand reaches up for a moment, starting to open up beautiful deep things. And then switch it out. Beautiful. Next inhale gets us to stand. A little arch back. And hands at the heart. Right hand down on the thigh, left hand circles up and over. And second side. Good. Back up. Let's take a normal sun salutation A. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, a nice half lift. Exhale, hands plant, step or walk or jump to plank. Lower chaturanga. A beautiful back bend. Downward facing dog. Two more breaths, lifting hips higher. And then gazing forward, knees take a spring, hopping us up to the top if possible. End up in that forward fold. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. And hands at the heart. And a sun salutation B, a little bit harder. Inhale, arms up, lead them by the ears. Set the hips back. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Straighten the legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands down. Step walk or jump back. Take a flow. Right leg floats to the sky, inhale. Exhale, step it in between hands, back heel down. Inhale, float up to the sky. When your exhale starts, plant back down, take another flow. Left toes float, inhale. Exhale, step, back heel down, inhale, rise. Exhale, back down, one more flow right here. And a few extra breaths when you get to the down dog. I love those sun salutations because they warm us up so quickly. That's nice. Imagine we've added heat to that seed. It's that vital life force. Keep the breath flowing, prana adding to it. And from this shape, we're going to start our first real intricate mandala. So start by floating the right leg up to the sky and step that right foot forward in between hands. With the back heel staying lifted, start to float the arms up to the sky. See if the hips can sink just a little bit lower, back leg still straight. Maybe hands come together to touch and a slight arch backwards. Good, hands come down to the heart. Let's start to float into a warrior 3 on the front leg. Dropping the hands down, you go into standing split. So left leg continues to float higher and higher, try to keep the hips square. Body continuing to get warmer. Now back leg slowly gets heavy. You sink back kind of through that warrior 3. And to land, the toes clear the back of the mat again. Drop the left knee down this time. So from here, hips sink forward. They're already set up in that beautiful deep shape. Hands can come up to the thigh. Continuing to sink forward. And fingertips behind the ears. Feel the heart start to lift even more. Hands to the heart. Lift the left elbow on that right thigh. Take that beautiful twist. Tuck the back toes. Lift up the back knee. And like a big cartwheel, we're going to spiral out of this twist into warrior 2.
I don't understand the cartwheel. That's okay. Beautiful.
The front knee still keeping its bend. The back fingers go to the back leg. Right hand reaches up and slightly backwards. Good, rising up. We switch out our legs. So now the right leg is straight, the left leg bends, and we go into this low squat position. So it should be closer to that back of the mat. We're about to turn the face away from me. Don't feel like you're doing anything wrong. Just keep on following me. Gaze at me if you get lost. But from here, we plant the hands at the back of the mat. Step back into plank. Take a little flow. You can always drop to child pose when you get to this point if you need to. For this first one, what I'd like us to play with doing is bending the knees and then rounding the spine forward and then kind of rounding the hips back. So it's like you're playing with pulses through the spine. It's like a big yo-yo. The spine is rounding back and then rounding forward. So maybe 2 more of those. And then ending in that nice downward facing dog. Left leg floats up to the sky. Left knee touches left tricep. Shifting into plank. And then lift it back up. Left knee to nose. And back up. Left knee under to the right elbow. Straighten the legs, setting the side of the foot down, crossing under. Maybe right hand can lift for a moment. Good, setting right hand down. Bring a bend to that left knee. Continue to swivel open into a side plank, maybe setting those left toes down behind you. And then perhaps flipping into wild three with that left hand flipping up to the sky. Good. Left hand comes down. Step the left foot in between hands. Drop the back knee down. Left leg goes straight and just take a nice half splits. Catching our breath if we need to right here. And eventually work your hands back to plank at the back of the mat. Sweep the left toes up to the sky, nice lift. Set the left foot down. Right foot floats for a moment. Step it in between the hands. Back heel goes down. Cartwheel directly to warrior two. Left fingertips onto left leg. Right hand traces up and back. Raising up, the right leg goes straight, left leg takes that low squat again. This comes Skandasana. Yep, coming over to that side. Always know if this is too much for anybody online, you can be higher if needed. And walking the hands clear up to the top of the mat. Step back into plank, take a little flow. This may be a place where you can try to lower both elbows down at the same time, walking the toes into dolphin. Even harder to lift both elbows at the same time, so if you need to drop down for a moment to reset up to a nice downward facing dog, that's beautiful. And from here, we're ready to reset for the left leg. So left toes float up to the sky. Step that foot in between the hands. Back heel's floating for right now. Start to rise up to stand. Arms up by the ears. Maybe the hands touch. Raise them up. You can float the fingertips slightly backwards. And hands can come to the heart as we shift forward through warrior three. Dropping fingertips down, standing split. Try to get gracefully, almost like that warrior three transition before the back toes land softly, hardly any noise. Back knee drops down. Hips are wonderfully sinking forward. Hands can come up to the thigh. Maybe fingertips behind the ears, heart forward. And hook the right elbow. Set up in that beautiful twist. Hands can be at the heart now. Perfect. Tucking the back toes. Try to lift the back knee up. And then opening the arms, spiral to warrior two. Feel the breath going calm and steady, feeding us prana. Back fingertips touch the back leg. Top hand reaches up and slightly back. Rising up. Switch out the legs, so now it's the left one that bends and we squat down. Back on the mat. You're correct, the right one that bends, thank you. Yeah, so toward the back of the mat, sorry. Good catch. Okay, running the hands to the back, step back. If at any point now you're too tired to do any more of the flows, you can always just take a child pose, that's fine. Otherwise, that beautiful flow. Right leg floats. Right knee to right tricep. And float. Knee to nose. And float. Knee over to the left elbow. Straighten the legs, setting the side of the foot down. Maybe left hand floats. Hand down. Bring them to the right knee. And then to the side of the left foot. And maybe set the right toes behind. Flipping right hand up for a little wild thing. And setting right hand down. From here, step right foot forward in between hands, back knee down. And then just shift right away to the front leg being straight. Stepping hands down, half split. Okay, hands flat, as the back toes lift, toes tuck, leg lifts, float the right leg up to the sky, and set the right foot down, left leg lifts, step it in between hands, then right up warrior two. Right fingers to that right leg, left hand up and back. And Skandasana is the right knee is bent. Walking the hands around to the top. Step back, maybe child pose, maybe a flow. Again, child pose is always totally fine at this point. If you'd like to try to lower both elbows to the ground, maybe we're setting up for dolphin again, walking the toes in. If you need a moment with child, that's beautiful. Or back up to downward facing dog. Good. So the next mandala we'll take is that one that I promised with kind of advanced variations throughout. If anybody wants to try to attempt them, if not, just do pretty much the same flow that we just did on left and right. So we start off here with right toes floating up to the sky, step right foot in between hands. A brief moment to float the fingertips up to the sky. Maybe hands to the heart, warrior three. You can try for warrior three, maybe to have left hand grab left toes. It's a little bit hard. And from that, try to lift directly through dancer's pose up to stand. Moving that back straight. Good. When you release, take that left leg forward, all the way straight in front of you. And then spiral it to eagle's pose. Left leg on top, left elbow under. Maybe sinking a little lower. And kick the leg forward to send it under and through to a lunge. Elbows lift for a moment. And then to the inside of the front knee, we try to lower the elbows for a moment. As close as the fingertips can get toward the ground. Good. Unwind the arms, plant the hands on the ground, and then launch forward. From here, we're in that nice standing split. You can either practice here, trying to do handstand preps. So we plant the hands and then kick off of that right foot. Just doing that prep a couple of times. Or you can try to work on your balance in the hands, the standing split. Maybe one hand to the back of the ankle. Maybe both hands to the back of the ankle. Maybe a couple of attempts at both. One more breath wherever you're at. And then gently land that back foot all the way to the back of the mat. Set the knee down. Hips sink forward. Hands up on the thigh. Fingertips behind the ears. Sink the hips even deeper. Slight arch to the spine. And then trying to drop the right fingertips to the ground, lift the left elbow up higher. Good. The left elbow comes around to hook onto the thigh. Hands in prayer position. Lifting the back knee up. Spiral open warrior two. You got it. Quite circular today. And left fingers to the back leg, right hand up, twisting back. And switching the bend of the legs, Skandasana, left leg. We're close to the back of the mat. Planting the hands, maybe a flow, maybe just child pose. Left leg floats. Knee to the outside of the left tricep. Maybe hold here. Or perhaps try playing for a moment with Kundinyasana, coming into the balance, setting the left thigh on the right elbow. It's all good. Kick it back up. And left knee to the nose. Take it back up. Left knee to the right elbow, maybe trying to cross under. This time, if you're kicking it straight, try to hover above the ground. Or use the top hand on that foot and trying to lift it up higher and higher for the head. Good. Unwind. Left leg lifts back up. Set that foot under and through. Back knee can drop down. We're either working on half splits or scooting legs a little bit further apart, closer to full splits. So all those little challenge areas that I just added in, if you can't do what I did, don't worry about it, just go back to what we did at the beginning. Two more slow breaths. And after that second breath, head the left leg up into downward facing dog float. Set the left toes down, right leg lifts. And right foot steps under and through. Heart will open, warrior two. Triangle pose, but right leg goes straight. Reach toward the back of the mat and then drop the hand down on the shin. Left hand floats. Maybe stay here, maybe half moon pose for a moment. Gentle return to warrior two. And switch out the legs to the Skandasana on the bent left knee. So this is closer to the top of the mat now. And planting the hands. Step back, maybe child pose, maybe a throw. We're almost there. We've got one more side, one more left leg. So wherever we're at, let's enjoy 3 more breaths. And then left toes float. Left foot in between the hand. Try to float up to the sky for a moment. Maybe hands together, tracing fingertips slightly backwards, like 2 inches. And then hands at the heart. Warrior three. Maybe the funky trying to grab right toes with right hand. Extending back out like a warrior three. And then lifting up for dancing. Good. And kick that right leg in front. Wrap it around, eagle. Right elbow under. Maybe sinking a little lower. And kick it forward. Launch it under and through the back of the mat. Elbows lift slightly. And we bow down to the inner part of that front knee. Unwind the arms. Launch forward, standing split. Maybe handstand prep. And get the right leg up high, maybe 2 or 3 of those. Maybe a little bit of time trying to balance with a standing split. Maybe left hand is at the ankle, maybe right. And gentle dropping of the back toes all the way to the back. Drop that knee down. Hands up to the thighs, hips sink forward. Fingertips behind the ear, heart lifting. Maybe trying to drop the left hand down as the right elbow tries to lift up, giving a good lateral stretch. Unwind, bring right elbow to that thigh. With prayer position twist. And lifting up the back knee. Spiral open, warrior two. Right hand to the right leg, left hand up and back. And rising up, Skandasana toward the back of the mat. Keep the breath flowing, we're almost there. Planting the hands at the back of the mat, maybe a flow, maybe you're done with those by now. No pressure, you can always drop to knees if needed. This is the funky one, so you can always copy what we did earlier. Otherwise, right toes left. Setting right knee to the right tricep. You can just hold here as well, trying to build the strength there. Or Kundinasana, a nice balance. And lift it up. Knee to the nose. And lift. Knee under to the left. Maybe just set it down, or maybe try to get it floating. If it's floating, maybe lift the top hand, grabs that foot, and continues to swing it close to the head. And unwind, float up. Right foot steps in between hands. Back knee drops down. Half splits, or working closer to full splits. Two more slow breaths. We're almost there. Slow it down. And start to swing the leg back. Downward facing dog. And from here, left leg floats. Step it in between hands. Cartwheel open. Warrior two. Triangle. Front leg or that left leg goes straight. And start to bow down over that leg. Maybe half moon pose. Front leg down, so left leg down, left fingertips down. And gentle land. Back to that warrior two. And then Skandasana toward top of that. Coming up to the top. Our last optional flow of the day. If child pose is really needed right now, take it. Let's take a well-deserved pigeon pose. Right toes float. Send the right knee under and through for pigeon. And just feel yourself relaxing, resting downward onto elbows. Perhaps closing the eyes, you can connect back to our seed that we're working on today. Feel how much of our life force, how much of our energy was just fed into that seed by our attempts. No matter how beautiful, how difficult, no matter what our experience was through those last flows, we definitely had energy. So imagine that energy radiating out of the seed, creating beautiful, intricate patterns. And see if your third eye, if your mind's eye can give you a little glimpse of that beautiful mandala pattern that you just created, that you just fed through that seed to grow. Allowing energy of our hip to continue to open. Coming up onto the hands, rock onto the right hip. left leg swings around in front. It can be cross-legged, it can be shin stack, or it can be the left knee stacking on top of right knee. We do want to make sure both sitting bones are down, whatever variation we choose. Posture starts up tall. We've got the right hand coming to the base of the neck, and try to see if the left arm can come under and through to touch both fingertips together. If not, you can either grab onto the shirt or just help the top elbow come behind the head. Once you've got it set up, and whatever it looks like, try to get the posture back up tall. So the breath exploding through all parts of the lungs, not just focusing on the upper lobes, not just on the lower lobes, so the whole lungs expanding. And then releasing arms, feel yourself simply release up and over. Everything's slowing. Heading past the summer heat and into that fruitful fall. Rising up tall, both legs stretch out in front of us, reach arms up to the sky, take a nice releasing forward fold. And then as we rise up, we reverse it out. So now left leg is on the bottom. Right shin is taking cross, stack, or knee stack. Posture up nice and tall, both sitting bones down, left hand at the base of the neck. Right hand tries to go under. Maybe the clasp is happening. If not, grab onto shirt or just help the top elbow come behind the head. One more deep inhale. And then exhale, arms release. Release your spine. Relaxing it into more of a yin shape, more of a just receiving shape. Floating the spine up. This right leg swings through a circle all the way around to the back of the mat. Then pick up the hips to set them evenly right over both hip bones. We're not rocking onto right hip, we're not rocking onto left hip. We're right in the middle. Continuing to fill up that connection with our breath. We've got one last downward facing dog, so plant the hands, lift up high. This can be through movement or through stillness, whatever feels best. Eventually drop into child pose when you're ready. Feel the head release, feel all the muscles of the body release. From this point, if there's last movements or stretches your body needs before Shavasana, head into those last things. At any point when you're ready to just relax in an open receiving position on the ground, let yourself resume that shape. It's as if at the beginning of class when we were on our back, we were passing through spring. Eventually we passed through summer, down to fall. And now Shavasana is like winter time. Notice how the seed grew through the space of that whole year. And notice that you've cultivated seeds to plant in the next year when the next mandala is ready to get started. So just perhaps in your mind's eye, view the beauty of that mandala we just created within our own bodies. And as the circle comes to this wonderful finish, enjoy the ultimate release that's available. begin to deepen the inhales and the exhales. Introducing little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like you're waking up first thing in the morning. Eventually taking a beautiful fetal position off to one side. And enjoying a few wonderful deep breaths. Maybe 3 or 4 more full cycles until you're ready to come up to a comfortable seated place. And as hands come together in front of our heart, we realize that cycle is all that there really is in life. But the thing is that because we're human, we can choose the seeds that we're growing. We can choose which mandalas, which patterns, which cycles we put energy into. And so as our next mandala starts, from this point on through the rest of today, we choose consciously and carefully what seeds, what thoughts, what intentions fill our hearts and our minds. Knowing that where our attention goes, our energy flows. So with this mandala yoga to lead us on to this marvelous day, let's wrap up the time we got to share together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.